Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Johnny Reads, and I am going to start a booktube channel. So yeah, I'm Johnny Reads. I love books, as you can see. I love collecting books and I love reading. I didn't start reading as a hobby until about 2 years ago. I maybe read like one book a year. And then I found some pretty awesome booktubers and started following one on Patreon and, convinced me to start a booktube channel. And it's one of the reasons why I read so much today. So I probably didn't read as a hobby until about July of 2022. And my first book was Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm not a big romance reader, but I thought she was really funny. And then I started getting into fantasy. Um, and so like the first series I read was actually Shadow and Bone, mostly because the series was going on. The first season had come out. The second season, it was a year after the first season. The second season was supposed to come out, and it didn't. It got delayed. So anyways, I read through that. Read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Great books. I ended up reading like from July to the end of the year, 11 books, which my goal was 10. The next year, I think I had planned on reading about 2 books a month. I'm a slow reader. I don't read very fast. And I've gotten faster. I think that's just like comes with time. I think that comes with, practice and reading. So last year, my goal was to read 24 books, 2 books a month. And there are some months where I'd only read one. There was a month where I didn't read anything. And then there was like a book where I read 5. And then in about October last year, I got Libby and started doing audiobooks. So that actually ended up at 205% of my goal. So I read 49 books last year, which was great for me. My goal this year is 52, and I'm already at 32 books. At first, I will say that I struggled with trying to read audiobooks. I thought it was somewhat cheating. I won't say that now, especially experiencing in the world of audiobooks. Sorry, I have my cat's here. I don't think he'll... Ooh, I got him. He's Rio. He's good. He's a good boy. Yeah, and Tacho's over there. He's been stealing my wires, so if you see any jump cuts, it's because I gotta go get... I just put him down. Sorry. But anyways, I really, really, really love reading now. I started a book club and that ended up going sideways. And so now the book club I invest in is, I don't know if you guys know Johan from Library of a Viking. He does a book club on his Patreon, and so I support him in that, and one, because I just love his channel. He was literally the first booktuber I followed. Was his videos were what got me into reading, along with Daniel Green's videos, his bookshelf roast videos. Anyway, so I started reading I would say about 2 years ago. I read a mixture of fantasy and mystery thrillers. I read some sci-fi, and not that I don't dislike sci-fi, but I've just not picked up steam for it. I think there are definitely books that I like in the sci-fi genre. So I guess I can talk about like my favorite books of the genres. So I mostly read the mystery books through Libby on audiobook, and I really love doing it that way. It's like reading a murder podcast, true crime podcasts. I think the first one that I read through audiobook last year was All Good People Here. That was great up until the non-ending. It pretty much just ended and you're like, wait, is this the rest of it? I really hope that the author Ashley Flowers, I believe is her name, publishes publishes a sequel to this, because your main character ends up in a bad situation and then just cuts you off there. And I was pretty miffed about it. But I think out of that like mystery horror, my favorite book was probably The September House. That was so good. I really enjoyed that. It was a debut novel. Very well. I don't know how it was necessarily written print wise, but it was articulated very well in the audiobook. And so I really, really, really enjoyed it. It was intense. Another one that was really good were that I've read. I'm not going to do a top 10. I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants at this moment with this video. I just got off of a Zoom book club call, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm just ready to get this going. So right now, you're just kind of learning who I am, kind of what I read. So let me get to my Goodreads and get to my challenges, because I keep up with Goodreads. I know a lot of people don't like the platform, which is fine. I think I just started using it um, about maybe a year and a half ago. I did not immediately use it to keep track of my books. But I do now. I also use Storygraph, which I think is awesome. I don't know if you are an analyst or have an analytical mind and like to see charts and graphs of what you've read, split up by page count, split up by genre, split up by author. It really gives you some details, which is really cool. And this is not a promo or paid promotion or anything like that. I just am recommending to you that if you would like to find a different way to keep track of your books, because you don't like the interface of Goodreads, then Storygraph is definitely a great way to do that. So let's go to 2023. We were talking about another book that I liked was The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Now, I do have one of his books. I think it's I do have one of his books, The House Across the Lake. I have not read this yet. I haven't gotten to it. But The Only One Left is fantastic. It was really good. I think I gave it 4 stars, which are typically, yeah, I gave it 4 stars. There wasn't any deviation off that. It was good. I like it. If you look at my reviews, the books that I like, it's really hard for me to talk about because there's not any criticisms for me to give to it. And it's just hard for me to like wrap my mind around like the things that I like versus like if I write a critical review, that's going to be super long. So I guess it's considered sci-fi as the Frugal Wizard's Hand Guide. It was the first Brandon Sanderson book that I read, and I absolutely loved that. I read that on the plane to Indonesia, and that it was fantastic plane read. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It definitely is not like his other novels. After that, I read the Mistborn trilogy, the first one. I am on. Do I have it with me? It's right there. I am now currently reading The Alloy of Law, which is a fast read. I mean, this is only 300 pages compared to like his Mistborn trilogy, which is between 500 and 600 pages each book. So this is very short for him. So I'm really enjoying that. I like those. I don't know if I'd say they're like my favorite. So, a sci-fi series that's also young adult that I absolutely loved is Arc of a Scythe. I absolutely loved Arc of a Scythe. It was so good. It was so thought-provoking. I mean, there's criticism about capitalism, a criticism on religion, and also and kind of just about life and getting everything that we want, because that's kind of the world that they set up in Scythe, is that these people, they get and have whatever they want, that all they have to do is just talk to the thundercloud. And I mean, I just thought Neil Shusterman did an amazing job of writing that book. I think my favorite book right now is The Priory of the Orange Tree. I ate this up. Like, I ate it up. I know that I definitely gave some criticisms to it, and I gave this originally a 4-star and then gave it 5 stars later. Like, that's the impression that this left on me. And like, one of the things that I love about this is a retelling. This is of I believe a King Arthur story, or a British myth. So like, this is an adaptation of literature from the past, which I really like it when authors do that. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but I have like Stephen King's The Dark Tower series right here. And obviously, like, that is based off of, I don't remember the author, but it's based off of a poem called Child Roll Into the Dark Tower Came. And it is by Robert Browning. So I am actually on the 7th book of this. I had to take a pause. So I had just finished Needful Things, which is what we just had the discussion on. And I'm going to talk about this in a minute. And I was going to read this, but I go on vacation on next Saturday to the beach to visit my brother with some friends. And I wanted to finish this before that, and it's not going to happen. I'm just not. Like I said, I'm a slow reader. I read a lot on the weekends. I have a really busy week, so it's going to take me 2 weeks to read this at least. And so I just don't have time. And so I really, really, really want to read The Way of Kings on the beach. That is like the beach read that I've been planning all year long. It's what I want to read. So that's why I chose The Alloy of Law, because it's shorter. Of course, like, I could have finished that last night after like 3 days, because I can read about 100 pages a day after work. I just decided that I just wanted to chill and watch One Piece. So I didn't do that. But I will be doing a review on The Dark Tower, and I'll be doing a review on the series as a whole. So be looking forward to that video, and I'll also do a video on The Way of Kings, and like talk about it. I really like to analyze books, so I'll also do a video on Needful Things. But Needful Things, I really enjoyed. I gave it 4 stars. There were some things that I think could have been done better, so I did not give that 5. But Priory of the Orange Tree, favorite book, fantasy book so far. And Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. That was the first book that I read this year, and it was fantastic. And my roommate already read the rest of the books, so I need to catch up. So after I read The Dark Tower, then I'll read the Robin Hobb's the rest of the Farseer trilogy. So that is coming up. I will probably do a review on the trilogy as a whole, and a couple of videos that I really want to do. So one of the things that I love a lot is to break bread with my friends. And so one of the ideas that come is, like, I know like mukbangs are a YouTube thing. So I plan on doing bookbangs where I'm going to invite you to make food and eat with me. So I am going to invite you to come eat with me, and let's talk about books. I'll talk to you about what I'm reading. I might do that as like a certain review of a book. I think that's going to be a really fun thing to do with you guys, whoever subscribes. So, just look forward to that. I might do a bookshelf tour. This is pretty much it behind me. You can't see it right now, but I've got some like standard like fiction literature up there. And then these 2 shelves right here are sci-fi. And then I've got my hardback fantasies the rest of the way down. And then this shelf that's directly behind me and this shelf are straight fantasies, and then this is my Christian literature. So which I really need to start working on more. But and so another video that I really, really, really want to do are read with me. I know that would be probably a little bit difficult because I can't film hours of me reading. I mean, I probably will, but I'll probably like montage it and, basically be like, hey, I'm going to read this section during this time. Go read, come back. And then read a section of this. I'm going to be reading a section of this, and I'll kind of film me like doing whatever, reading it. And then, come back and I'll talk about it. Like, hey, like, let's kind of do this together. So I do love. Oh yeah, I did. I gave you a Assassin's Apprentice. Oh, that was fantastic. So let's see. I guess my favorite like fiction book is A Man Called Otto. I really liked that. That was really good. I read that for the movie, which I didn't actually get to see in theaters. I saw it on the plane to England when I went last year. So that was a lot of fun. I really liked that book. Going to England was fun. The book was very sad. Let's say that. The book is very emotional. Frederick Bachman really knows how to write a character in such a short amount of pages and get you to care about them. I think that that's like a brilliant thing for an author to do. I think Stephen King does the same thing. So like in this book, Needful Things, it's a slow-paced book. Stephen King really dives deep into the characters, their behaviors, their interests, their emotions, what sets them off, what, makes them, I guess what sets them off, what triggers them into like emotional depression or what makes them happy. And, he does a really good job of writing characters, and he kills two of them off halfway through the book. And I was deeply upset by one of them. The other one kind of saw it coming. I really like it when an author can really flesh out characters, and a lot of them. Now, of course, like Frederick Bachman's really focusing on one character, but to really flesh out a character, to build them as like an actual person, to where like I really want to talk to this person. I think that's can be a rare thing for authors to do. Not a lot of, at least for me, not a lot of authors can evoke an emotional attachment to a character, because the way that I read is I see this like, oh, this is a story. This person isn't real. But if you can get me to see and get attached to them emotionally, then to me, that's another level of writing. I do have like some videos planned down the line. And I, hope that you come back. And I hope that you really do, enjoy, watching my videos. I know that this is kind of more of a get to know me, and kind of just like a throw about video. It's, this is my first one, so bear with me. But I plan to do something a little bit more organized down the line in the next video. It's going to be pretty much planned review. But I do want to do a few fun things with you guys. So watch out for those book bongs, and watch out for those read with me videos. I want to try to be as nonchalant and relaxed with you guys as possible. I want this to feel like you've got a friend that you're trying to discuss a book with. Because I don't have a lot of that in my life. A lot of my friends don't like to read the things that I like to read. And so this is just a way for me to talk about the books that I like, and for also you to have someone to talk about the books that I'm reading and that you're reading as well. So one, I just want to say thank you for coming to my channel. I am just really excited to get this off the ground. So I just want to say have a blessed evening and a blessed rest of your week. This is Johnny Reeds, over and out.